Hello, welcome to Process BI Overview presented by Clear Process Solutions. Today we're going to give you a quick general overview of each sheet that comes pre-configured out of the box with Process BI. Some key benefits of Process BI include the ability to visualize your workflow platform return on investment, near real-time dashboards for form and workflow data, both current and historical views, summary and detailed views of your workflow and task data, customizable setup of your time measurements, creating ad hoc reports with the ability to share with other users, and a responsible user interface. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into our Process BI overview. First, what you get with Process BI is 11 out-of-the-box pre-configured sheets that you can fully customize yourself, but we'll cover each sheet individually so that you can see what comes out of the box. Starting with our home sheet here, we get a great overview of our total process and workflow platform to understand how many processes or workflows have been starting within our platform and how many tasks have been assigned within our platform. The home sheet really is just this quick view to understand your forms and workflows and all the data that's been put through your platform. In this particular case, we've processed over 16,000 workflows. For this data, there's 317 that are still open and 15,000 that have been completed, and we can kind of see a breakdown of the processes at the bottom. We also see our task. For every one workflow, there's going to be many tasks assigned, so it's always never a one-to-one relationship. You always have more tasks that are in your workflow, so we'll always have more tasks. So in this case, we have 55,000 tasks, 317 of them are opened, and we have 55,000 that are complete. This is a good breakdown of understanding just what your current platform's doing. So we'll go ahead and jump in to 3 sheets that are around the workflow-based data. The first sheet is our process dashboard sheet. The process dashboard sheet is used to understand the counts of how many workflows have been going on within your organization, as well as who's actually started those workflows. So we have our time dimension here, and looking at all the way back from 2014, we can see that we've had a lot of this workflow has been running for a long time. In 2010, we've had workflows all the way up to 2018, and we can see our counts by each. And with the process dashboard, by clicking on any one of our measures here, we can then filter out just to see March of 2018 if we're just interested in seeing how many workflows were created in the month of March in 2018. In this case, there was a total of 454 workflows created in the month of March. And over on the right, we have our different statuses by each one of those. So some of those that were created in March are still running. They haven't been completed yet. A bulk of them have been completed, 364, and there have been some that have been rejected. We also can see on our lower right side each of our statuses by each process, because not every organization just has one workflow they've automated. Many have had 10 or 20 workflows. So in this case, we have 2 workflows that was started in the month of March. We have this credit memo request and this new customer account. We can see we processed a lot more credit memos in the month, or were created in the month of March than we did for our new customer accounts. On all of our dashboards, all of these sheets, we always have our filter on our left navigation, so we can certainly choose our years that we want to filter by. If we remove our year up top here and we choose, we just want to see 2017, how we were doing, all of our different metrics will automatically change as you're starting to filter. If you want to just look at your form overall status that are maybe open, you can click on that, and then we can see how many are open and what process is open. So we can see there's 3 processes, and we have a PO request 1 open, 10 credit memos open, and we've got 15 of the new customer account open. So our process dashboard provides some really good individual metrics around counts and also who originated. So we've masked the data for the originator, so you can't see who the originators are, but you can see that this first person here has launched 13 forms. They've started 13 forms that are still open. If we take off our year or our open status, then we can see another person, they've started 201. So maybe this person A here is the person who's most entered the most requests. So maybe we go to talk to them maybe about process improvement or what they like or don't like. If you click on the person's name, you can certainly see all of the different running and completed. You can also filter by that, and we can see that they've by and far created the most new customer accounts. It looks like they've been 192 versus 9 credit memos. So this is definitely a high user that within our platform we want to make sure we pay attention to, because they do use our platform a lot. So we'll go ahead and take off our filters here, and we'll move on to our next dashboard, which is our process duration dashboard. So the process duration dashboard is used to understand your completed processes and be able to optimize those processes, be able to understand the average duration in days that it's taking to complete your workflows within your organization. So you have a trend line here that says our average days, and you can click on any one of these and it'll drill into the actual days within that month. So we can see where our average duration here in September was 37. In February, we're trending at 10 and 5. So we're on a downtrend, but we can at least see an average duration across all of our processes. We also do get a breakdown here of how many processes have taken less than 7 days. So we have processed 14,000 processes within less than 7 days. And most organizations have, a SLA of 5 days. So we want to make sure we're under 7. So that's good that we're there. But we do see there are some processes that have taken 31 to 60 days, and we can click on any one of those processes, specifically maybe the one that's taken later than 60 days, and really focus our understanding of what's happening within our organization for that particular process. So there are some, and we can see that they're trending over time. If we want to focus on maybe more of a current one here, we'll go to March of 2018. So we can kind of take a look. On 3/6, we have a 78-day duration and a 378-day duration for when those processes were complete. If we want to, we can see down at the bottom we have the actual counts. These are the numbers. We can also see that over on the right side here we have the breakdown that says this is a credit memo request, and there are 2 of them that were over 60 days. If we wanted to get a quick insight of what those 2 were within our organization, that's where our next sheet comes in, and that's our process detail sheet. The process detail sheet just gives you that actual data that we're summing up in our metrics and the percentages, and lets you get quick insight into it. So for this particular process, the credit memo request that was originated by these 2 different users, the unique form name that's in our system, our CMR 50318 and the 41663 are the ones that we've had problems with. It's taking us longer than 60 days. So at this point, we could go and talk to the people that have participated part of this particular process and ask them if they could give us some insight into why it's taking us so long to process this credit memo request. So our details are the detail sheet does provide more details, and it provides more filters. You can look at all of your processes. You can sort by form names. You can sort by dates. You can add any filters you want. You do have to have less than 1,000 rows that's going to be returned. So you want to filter by maybe 2017. We'll give you a total processes of 993. And as with any sheets within this, you can certainly decide to export out to Excel if you want to take a little bit more look at the data yourself. So you can export it to Excel or PDF or anything like that. Moving to our task dashboards, we're going to go ahead and remove this, and we're going to go look at our task dashboards. Our task dashboard really focuses on the individual task within those workflows. So whereas our process dashboard showed us how many processes we started within our organization, our task dashboard are all the assignments within those processes. And as I indicated earlier, the task dashboard, you'll always have more tasks within your organization. So we can see that in the month of March here, we've had a lot of tasks assigned. There's been 1,300 that are approved, and we can see our total counts just in the month of March. We can also see that these are our different breakdowns by each one of our tasks. So if we were focusing on a specific one, like let's show all rejected tasks, because most of the time within our organization we should be approving things, but maybe we're looking to see why are things being rejected? Do they not have enough data, or they're missing fields? So let's go ahead and focus on rejected requests. We can certainly do that, and there were 2,000 requests that were rejected. We can go look at the month of March again here, and there were 123 in the month of March. So as we click on the month of March, we can see then a breakdown of what days were in the month of March were forms being rejected. It looked like we had a large count on 3/6 here. Furthermore, if we look down at the bottom, we can actually see which processes were being rejected. So in this case, we have our credit memo request, and there's been 111 rejected requests in the month of March. So you can filter by credit memo and look at the individual task within the credit memo. So credit memo is the workflow, the process, but now we want to see which tasks within that process were actually rejected. So we can look at CM review and credit manager review, all common typical tasks within a process for a credit request. But we can see this one right here, CS team lead review. They've rejected it 51 times. So we know that this particular person who's doing these reviews are rejecting really a lot of requests. And maybe we want to actually focus on that one person and that one task. So we filtered at the top by credit memo, we filtered by our team lead task, and now we can see on the left-hand navigation here, these are all the people that have rejected it. And this person's rejecting it, person A has rejected it 13 times, 12 times, 8, and 8. And as you can see, less rejections as you go down. But this person here, by far has our most rejected requests. Maybe we want to focus on that person and ask them, why are you rejecting requests? Are there missing information? So we can help improve our process, because we don't want long-running workflows. We have an SLA to process a credit request within 5 days. So if there's constant rejection, that means it's constant churn, and our days are going out. So with our task dashboard here, you really get insight into the people and the processes and the tasks within those processes to focus on optimizing those processes. We'll keep this CS team lead selected, because maybe the next dashboard we want to see some of the duration metrics. So you can see on our average task duration, what's the duration it's taking to actually complete these. And it looks like by and large, everything that from a duration perspective from this CS team lead, we know at least 96% of the time they're completing their task on time. So it's not that the person's late. Most of the time they're on time, but there are some late tasks. We can see this over here, that there are about 3.9% to task have been late. So this duration, the task duration spreadsheet, really helps us focus on what our duration is for our tasks. So if we want to drill down into these late tasks, we can see all of the late tasks and how late were they. And we can even click to our next spreadsheet here, which shows us our details sheet. The detail sheets will give us our individual form names. So we have the unique names. These are the 2 credit requests that they were late on, and we get good insight into that. But before we go back to the detail sheet, let's go back to our duration sheet and remove some of our filters. so that we can get a little bit more insight into our organization as far as how good are we doing on completing our task on time. So we can get our trend line over time, and we can really focus in on those months that look to be a little bit abnormal. So this certainly, this 103 looks a little bit abnormal from a month perspective. So then we can filter in, and we have a large amount on this particular day. 405 is our average duration here. So we can click on that and start to focus in of why. What are the processes, what are the tasks that are late? You can certainly flip back to your other dashboard and get a very good insight into the task names. So we have receive first order is 20. There's 28 of those tasks that were late. There's review new account form. 24 of those tasks were actually late, and we can see that most of those have been reassigned. So people really aren't working their task, they're reassigning them, and they're on top of reassigning them, they're reassigning them late. So they were supposed to complete it within a couple days. If we flip forward to our details, we can see these tasks. They were supposed to complete it. We assigned it on 10/18 of 2017. They were supposed to complete it on the 19th, and then we can see the task was reassigned. The same with the 9/27, supposed to complete it on 9/28, but then it got on 10/19 got reassigned. So some of these reassigns are ones that people just left out there, and they were left for a while. So we want to make sure we pay attention to these individual tasks and talk to the people that are supposed to receive the first order, and tell them specifically that we have a certain SLA that we need to make. So let's make sure we're processing it within the 2 days or 4 days that we give you for your SLA. Again, the detail sheet is just the details of all the data that we've summed up on the task dashboard and the task duration. All of that data is available and exportable on the detail sheet. We'll go ahead and remove our filters and go to our next sheet called our user count. The user count sheet is a really unique sheet within our application that helps understand how many people are submitting forms, how many originators do you have. So we have 156 people that have originated the form. And then of the people that are assigned tasks, how many unique people have been assigned a task? And we can see that there's 153. And between these two numbers, we come to a distinct count. There's 155 users using these specific forms within our workflow platform. So if we look at our workflow platform and we look at the processes we've automated a credit memo, a new customer account, and a PO request. And we can also get counts individually by those. So for our credit memo, there's 131 users. For our new customer account, there's 37. And for our PO request, there's 21 users of that application. Maybe we just are just rolling that application out. If we click on new customer account, there's 37. If we look over on the left, we can get the breakdown. There's actually 13 people that start the form and 37 that participate. So people that start are obviously participating part of the process as well. So our unique count is here for 37. If you have any licenses, considerations, or concurrent users, want to understand how many users are using each process and be able to understand, do you need to increase licenses, decrease licenses? This is a great sheet that'll help you get an insight into the processes you've automated for your organization and get an insight into your usage and your user count. Our process touchpoints dashboard is really a great dashboard for understanding how many times you touch an individual process. If I have a new customer account, do I have to touch it 3 times, or do I have to approve it 5 times? For a PO request, am my average approval is going to be 1.5? Is it 10? How many times do I have to touch it? Also, we've had several clients that have completely automated their process, and then we call those a no-touch or fully automated, percent of fully automated, meaning an invoice comes into your company, it gets OCR'd, the data gets put into your workflow platform, it goes through systematic approvals and looking against your ERP system to say, is this PO on this invoice, do we have that? Yes. Have we received the goods? Yes. If all of those answers are yes, then go ahead and pay this purchase order. We don't need a human to actually physically approve a PO that we know we've already issued, that we've matched against our ERP system that's within the tolerance. So that's what our process touch points will do for you. And by filtering by any certain process, if we wanted to just look at the individual processes, you can look at your new account one, and you can see, average touches per process, 168. There's 14,000 processes that have been touched. If you want to focus on an individual one, then you can click on an individual form, and in this case, there was average touches were only 8. The 8 times that a credit manager had to approve it or get requested information. You can see the breakdown on the left, and really there's 2 completed processes, so you're only reporting data on completed processes. Very similar to the process duration, only talks about completed workflows. With the process touch points, we really can't tell you if it's been fully automated unless somebody's touched it. And you can see the percentage of fully automated is 0. It's because we did have somebody have to go in here and approve this, and we actually expect them to approve it. This isn't supposed to be a fully automated process. If you did have that number would say there was no human that interacted with this form, so it's 100% fully automated. But in this case, we have average touches per process. There's 2 processes here, average touches 8. So that's our process touch points. And we'll move to our next one is an ad hoc sheet. So we also know within any reporting or BI application that we're not going to be able to create your reports for you and show you the data you want to see. So we've created this ad hoc sheet that you can really just go up to the top here and say edit. I want to edit this sheet, and when you edit the sheet, you can add as many dimensions and metrics that you would like and see data, or create your own bar charts, whatever you would like to see the data, and use the pre-configured out-of-the-box dimensions and metrics we've built within the application. You can do this on your own ad hoc. So far to date, like I said, there's 11 sheets. There's about 37 dimensions that are created and 17 metrics that are all defined out of the box that you can use. And we can certainly create more as you want to see data differently. Our configuration is one of our last sheets, and what we used this sheet for was some really good customer feedback on being able to report on SLAs and data and system usage. So one of our customers said, I don't have SLAs in days, I actually measure my SLAs in hours. Some may measure it in minutes. They may have a systematic approach that has to process within 30 minutes. So with our configuration sheet here, this sheet is used to switch your time configuration. So say we want to report in hours versus days. So we had at the bottom here 7 days, but now maybe we want to report within 7 hours. You also have the capability to move your slider up. So we want to say the first metric is less than 30 hours. The second metric is maybe 60 to 31 hours, and 30 to 59 hours here. And then we have our third metric at 60 to 83 hours or 85 hours, and then anything over 86 hours. And you can see real time here as we're sliding this that our numbers below are showing us the total processes and the percentage of those processes that fall within those metrics. So you can get a good insight into your configuration as you're setting your SLAs and how you would like. And of course, any of the sheets that we reviewed before, all of the dimensions, all of the time measurements will change appropriately. Over on the far right, we have our data configuration. And the data configuration is really used to show how many processes, when we report on our processes and our workflows within our company, typically people want to see processes that have been completed or approved or rejected. They do not want to see processes that have been canceled. Maybe there was a reason it was canceled. Maybe we had an issue with the form. We don't want those canceled processes to affect our metrics. So out of the box, we do not report on canceled processes, but we also some people want to actually measure how many times have we canceled a process. So if we're looking at our number here, we're at 61,162 total processes within our system here. If we go ahead and show our canceled processes, now we bump up to 17,408. So over 1,000 canceled processes within our system. And then we can certainly go back to each one of the dashboards and look at canceled processes and look why they were canceled or track them down. But when we're looking at visibility and optimization, we're really not looking at optimizing or understanding cancel, but we also have that configuration option. The other option that people wanted to understand is how is my workflow platform helping me from a system perspective? I know from a visibility perspective, I can give visibility in who's assigned a task, how long it's taking them to complete those tasks, if I need to add an additional engineer within my company or another accounts payable person. But for my total task, what is the system doing? There's a lot of manual tasks that the people are doing, but what's the system doing for me? So we do have this configuration option here where you can actually go in and say, show my plugin data or my system task data. That's actually going to show you, the system has done 2,000 base tasks for you that you've never recorded. Maybe it's interacting with your ERP system and inserting records. We've had some customers that their manual tasks were at 50,000, but their system tasks were an additional 100,000. So 100,000 different system tasks have been performed in which we've inserted data into an ERP system or interacted in some fashion that a human didn't have to manually type something. So if you do want to see those system-based data, system-based configuration, this is where you're going to change that option. So hopefully you've enjoyed this quick overview of Process BI. Look for more of our videos on our YouTube channel for some other additional features and functions of Process BI. For example, how Process BI can help to help you visualize your SLAs. Thanks, and I hope you enjoyed the demo.